Now be careful. That line of rock salt is the only thing keeping them out, the man said, welcoming my group into his refugee. Sea salt, I clarified. Sea salt keeps us out. For my last wish, I wished my dad to be alive again. I stood atop his grave and smiled, imagining him screaming and clawing at his coffin lid as he did the 2 previous times I wished him back. After I asked the crystal ball to tell me how to escape death, I was very confused as it read, "No thanks, honey, I'm full." However, something clicked in my head when my wife offered me cake after dinner. I begin tucking him into bed and he tells me, "Daddy, check for monsters under my bed." I look underneath him for his amusement and see him, another him, under the bed staring back at me, quivering and whispering, "Daddy, there's somebody on my bed." My brother and I sit down with a Ouija board and we both place our hands on the planchette. He says, "Cole, are you here with me?" And I move the planchette to say, "Yes." It's been 315 days since the global outbreak, 187 days since I realized I might be the only survivor, and 3 days since the 2 of us found each other in the wreckage of the world and regained hope. I've been alone so long I almost forgot that hallucinating imaginary companions is the first sign of infection. No matter how much we fight, my wife will always prepare my coffee in the morning, though this time it did taste a little like almonds. Cyanide tastes like almonds. My 4-year-old said he wished that people didn't have to knock. I told him about doorbells and he asked me to install one on his window. The principal of my son's school called me at work today to tell me my son pushed another kid while on the school excursion. I initially thought that this hardly warranted a phone call until I remembered that my son's excursion was to the Grand Canyon. I have a recurring dream of murder by a man I never met. I thought it was stupid until I went on a blind date and saw him at the table. My daughter's smiling face greeted me from the driveway as I returned home from a hard day. Where's the rest of her? Yesterday I wrote the number 69 on my wrist as a joke. Today it's 68, and now it's red and not washing off. If you get scared at night, don't keep your eyes closed for too long. There's a reason you're scared, and now you can't see it approach. I like to sing in the shower sometimes. When I got out of the last one, the fogged up mirror read, "You have a lovely voice. I live alone." I always thought my cat had a staring problem. She always seemed fixated on my face. Until one day when I realized that she was always just looking behind me. When the kidnapper made me guess where he kept my daughter, I went for the basement and he said, "Correct," allowing me to see her. But when I found her severed head in there, I learned that every other choice would have been correct as well. Spend 24 hours locked in the old insane asylum and win $1 million. It's been 26 hours, so why is the door still locked? Us being twins, my brother and I often share experiences and sensations. I only wish he'd warned me before getting open heart surgery. Once I had a girlfriend named Jill. I buried her under that hill. But sometimes at home, when I'm all alone, I find that she sleeps with me still. I love these clap-on lights. Just one problem with them. When I clap to turn them on, something under my bed claps to turn them off. I can't move, breathe, speak, or hear, and it's so dark all the time. If I knew it would be this lonely, I would have been cremated instead. There's a girl standing outside my window. The only problem is I live on the 7th floor. Being the first to respond to a fatal car accident is always the most traumatic thing I see as a police officer. But today, when the crushed body of the little dead child boy strapped in his car seat opened his eyes and giggled at me when I tried to peel him out of the wreckage, I knew immediately that today would be the last day on the force.